My grandmother's funeral was on a Tuesday. 53 people showed up. I counted. Not because I was bored or distracted, but because I wanted to know exactly how many people suddenly cared now that she was gone. 53 people who couldn't be bothered to visit her in the last 5 years of her life. I sat in the front row, alone, staring at her casket and trying not to think about the last time I'd seen her. 3 days before she died. She'd been lucid, sharp, making jokes about the nurses. "They keep asking if I know what year it is," she'd said, squeezing my hand. "Like I'm going to forget 2024 just because I'm 87. What do you tell them?" "I tell them it's the year my favorite grandson finally got that promotion he deserved." I'd gotten promoted to senior software engineer 2 months prior. She was the first person I'd called. Behind me, I heard my mother crying. Theatrical sobs that echoed through the chapel. Next to her, my brother Kevin sat with his arms crossed, looking at his phone. Neither of them had visited Grandma in over 2 years. But here they were, front and center, playing the grieving family. After the service, people came up to me, offered condolences, said things like, "She was a wonderful woman, and she'll be missed." I nodded, thanked them. Didn't mention that most of them couldn't even remember her first name. Eleanor. Her name was Eleanor Morrison, and she deserved better than this performance. The real show started a week later. I got a call from a lawyer, Martin Webb. He'd handled Grandma's estate. "Mr. Morrison, I'm calling about your grandmother's will. We need to schedule a reading. Are you available Friday at 2 p.m.? "Yeah, I can do that." "Good. I've also contacted your mother and brother. They'll be attending as well." Something in his tone made my stomach drop. "Is there something I should know?" He paused. "I think it's best we discuss everything in person." Friday came. I showed up at Webb's office 10 minutes early. Nice building. Downtown. The kind of place that charged $400 an hour and had leather chairs that probably cost more than my car. Mom and Kevin were already there, sitting in the waiting room. Mom saw me first. "Nolan!" She stood up, arms open for a hug. I let her hug me. It felt obligatory, like we were actors in a play about a functional family. Kevin nodded at me. "Hey. Hey." We hadn't been close in years. Different lives, different priorities. He was 4 years older and had spent those years reminding me of it. A secretary led us into a conference room. Big table, windows overlooking the city. Martin Webb sat at the head, folders spread in front of him. "Thank you all for coming," he said. "I know this is difficult. Eleanor was a remarkable woman." Mom dabbed her eyes with a tissue. "She was. We're going to miss her so much." I resisted the urge to point out that she'd missed her for the last 2 years already. Webb opened a folder. "Let's get started. Eleanor Morrison's will was last updated 6 months ago. She was of sound mind and had full mental capacity. I can provide medical documentation if needed." "Why would we need that?" Kevin asked. "Sometimes family members contest wills. I like to be prepared." Kevin leaned back. "We're not going to contest anything. We just want to know what she left us." Webb pulled out a document. Eleanor's estate consists of several assets. Her primary residence, valued at approximately $480,000. 2 rental properties, valued at $320,000 and $290,000 respectively. And liquid assets, savings, investments, life insurance, totaling $2.3 million. I felt the air leave the room. $2.3 million. Grandma had been comfortable. I knew that. She'd owned her house outright, had rental income. But I'd never imagined. Mom's hand went to her mouth. "Oh my God." Kevin sat forward. "That's... wow. Okay. So how's it split?" Webb looked at me. Just at me. "It's not split," he said carefully. "Eleanor left everything to Nolan." Silence. Complete, crushing silence. Then Kevin laughed. "What?" "Everything in Eleanor's estate goes to Nolan Morrison, the properties, the investments, all of it." "That's not possible," Mom said. "She wouldn't. She loved all of us equally." "I'm sure she did," Webb said. But she was clear in her wishes. Nolan is the sole beneficiary. Kevin stood up. Actually stood up. This is nonsense. She was senile, confused. She wasn't, Webb said firmly. I met with her multiple times. She knew exactly what she was doing. She even wrote a letter explaining her reasoning, if you'd like me to read it. Yes, Mom said. Read it. Webb pulled out another paper, cleared his throat. To my family, he read. I know this decision will be difficult to understand. But I'm leaving everything to Nolan because he's the only one who showed up. For 5 years, he visited me every week, called me every other day, made sure I wasn't lonely. My son passed 10 years ago, and I understand grief takes different forms. But Kevin and Julie, you stopped coming, stopped calling. You moved on with your lives and left me behind. Nolan didn't. He stayed. So I'm staying with him. I hope you understand. Love, Eleanor. The silence after that was different. Heavier. Guilty. Mom was crying for real now. I was busy. Work, the house, everything. She was your mother, I said quietly. And she was my grandmother, Kevin snapped. And you, what, you manipulated her? Convinced her we didn't care? I didn't have to convince her of anything. You did that yourselves. You turned her against us. No, you did that by not showing up. Kevin's face turned red. You can't keep all of it. That's not fair. Fair? I looked at him. Really looked at him. When's the last time you visited her, Kevin? He didn't answer. When? I don't know. 2 years? 3? 3 years, 2 months. I know because she mentioned it. Every single visit. She asked about you. Wondered if you were okay. Made excuses for you. I was busy building a business. That failed. Twice. His jaw clenched. You son of a… Enough, Webb said sharply. This is not a debate. The will is legal and binding. Nolan, if you'll stay, we can discuss next steps. Julie, Kevin, I'm sorry, but there's nothing more to discuss. Mom looked at me. Nolan, honey, you're going to share this, right? You can't possibly keep all of it. Kevin's your brother. I'm your mother. We're family. I stood up, grabbed my jacket. Family shows up, I said. She left it to me because I was the only one who did. I walked out. Behind me, I heard Kevin yelling, Mom crying, Webb trying to restore order. I got in my car, drove home, sat in my apartment staring at nothing. $2.3 million, 3 properties. All mine. Because I'd spent 5 years visiting a lonely old woman who everyone else forgot about. I felt relieved and sick at the same time. The call started that night. Mom first. Nolan, please call me. We need to talk about this. Then Kevin. You can't seriously keep all of it. Call me. Then Mom again. Honey, I know you're upset, but we can work this out. Then Kevin. Pick up your damn phone now! I turned it off. Went to bed. Didn't sleep. The next morning, my phone had 17 missed calls and 42 text messages. I scrolled through them while drinking coffee. Mom. We need to talk about the will. This affects all of us. Kevin. Half is fair. You know it is. Mom. Your brother is really struggling right now. Please help him. Kevin. You're being selfish. Grandma would be ashamed. Mom. After everything I did for you growing up, you owe me this. Kevin. I'm getting a lawyer. You manipulated her. I put the phone down, made more coffee. Thought about Grandma, about the last conversation we'd had. You're a good boy, Nolan, she'd said. Better than they deserve. Don't say that. It's true. Your mother, she means well. But she's always favored Kevin, and Kevin's always taken advantage of it. I know. Do you? She'd squeezed my hand. Because you need to know something. When I'm gone, they're going to expect you to share everything. To be the good son, the good brother. But you don't owe them that. Grandma, listen to me. You showed up. You cared. That matters. Don't let them guilt you into giving away what you earned. I hadn't understood then. I understood now. A week later, Kevin showed up at my apartment. It was 1 a.m. I was asleep. Bang, bang, bang on the door. Nolan, open up! I stumbled out of bed, looked through the peephole. Kevin, drunk, swaying, bang, bang, bang. I know you're in there, neighbor's lights turned on. Kevin, go home. Not until we talk. There's nothing to talk about. You owe me. That money is mine. A door opened down the hall. Mrs. Chen, elderly, scared. Is everything okay? I'm calling the police, I said loudly. Screw the police, and screw you. I pulled out my phone. Dialed 911. 10 minutes later, 2 officers showed up. Talk to Kevin. Talk to me. Kevin got arrested for disorderly conduct. Mom called the next morning, hysterical. They arrested Kevin because of you. Because of him. He showed up drunk and threatening. He's your brother. He's harassing me. Over money that should be shared. Mom, I'm done. Don't call me again. Nolan. I hung up, sat in my apartment, and made a decision. I couldn't do this anymore. The constant calls, the guilt trips, the entitlement. I'd spent my whole life being the forgotten middle child, the one who didn't need attention, the one who just handled things. And now, when I finally had something of my own, they wanted to take it. No, not this time. I opened my laptop, started researching. By the end of the day, I had a plan. A plan that would change everything, and that nobody saw coming. The plan came together faster than I expected. I worked remotely as a software engineer. Had for 3 years. My company didn't care where I lived as long as I delivered code and showed up to Zoom meetings, which meant I could be anywhere. Anywhere but here. I spent a week organizing everything with surgical precision. First, the properties. I met with a property management company, professional outfit. They'd handle the rentals, find tenants, collect rent, deal with repairs. I'd get a check every month and never have to think about it. The 2 rental properties cash flow about $3,200 combined per month after expenses, the manager said. Good investments. And Grandma's house? You want to rent that too? I thought about it. About the kitchen where she'd taught me to make cookies. The living room where we'd watch Jeopardy every Thursday. The bedroom where she'd died. No, I said. I want to sell it. Too many memories. Too much grief. It sold in 3 weeks. Multiple offers. I accepted $495,000, more than the appraisal. Second, the money. I met with a financial advisor. Young guy, maybe 35. Came recommended by Webb, the lawyer. $2.3 million liquid assets, he said, looking at his screen, plus the sale of the primary residence. You're looking at roughly $2.8 million total. I felt dizzy saying that number out loud. What do you want to do with it? He asked. Not lose it. He smiled. Good start. Here's what I recommend. Diversified portfolio. Index funds, bonds, some growth stocks. Conservative approach. You could pull $80,000 to $100,000 annually and never touch the principal. So I'm basically set for life. If you're smart about it, yes. What if I keep working? Then you're very set for life. We moved the money into investment accounts, set up automatic transfers, built a financial plan. For the first time in my life, I had security. Real security. And I wasn't sharing it with people who'd spent years ignoring me. Third, the exit strategy. I changed my phone number. Number, new provider. Gave it to exactly 5 people. My boss, 2 close friends, the property manager, and my financial advisor. That was it. I deactivated Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, every social media account where family could find me. Then I started looking at apartments. Not in my current city. Somewhere else. Somewhere far enough that dropping by wasn't an option. I'd always wanted to live in California. Bay Area. Tech hub. Good weather. 3,000 miles from my mother's guilt trips. I found a place in Mountain View. 1 bedroom, modern building, walking distance to downtown. $2,800 a month, which would have been impossible before. Now it was barely a dent. I signed a lease remotely. gave notice on my current apartment, packed everything I owned into a small moving truck, and on a Tuesday morning, while my family thought I was just at work, I drove away. Nobody knew where I was going. Nobody knew I was leaving. I just vanished. The drive took 4 days. I stopped in random towns, ate at diners, slept in cheap motels. No social media check-ins. No telling anyone where I was. It felt like being in witness protection, except I was protecting myself from my own family. On day 3, somewhere in Nevada, I pulled into a rest stop and sat in my truck staring at the desert. My old phone, the one I'd kept turned off in the glove compartment, had been buzzing occasionally. I'd been ignoring it. Curiosity got the better of me. I turned it on. 87 missed calls, 143 text messages, 21 voicemails. I scrolled through the texts. Mom. Where are you? You're not answering. I'm worried. Kevin. Stop being a child and answer your phone. Mom. Nolan, this is serious. Call me immediately. Kevin. I know you're ignoring us. Real mature. Mom. Your landlord said you moved out. Where did you go? Kevin. You can't hide forever. I listened to one voicemail, just one. Mom's voice, tight with anger masked as concern. Nolan, I don't know what you think you're doing, but this is ridiculous. You can't just disappear. We're your family. Call me back right now. I deleted it, turned the phone off, threw it in a trash can at the rest stop, and kept driving. I arrived in Mountain View on a Thursday. The apartment was exactly as advertised. Clean, bright, windows that actually opened, a kitchen that didn't smell like the previous tenant's cooking disasters. I stood in the empty living room with 2 suitcases and a box of kitchen supplies and thought, this is it. New life. Fresh start. It felt terrifying and liberating in equal measure. Within 2 weeks, I'd furnished the place with IKEA basics and applied to tech companies. Google was hiring. So was Apple, Facebook, a dozen startups with names like Synergy and Quantum that probably wouldn't exist in 2 years. I interviewed everywhere. Google called back first. We'd like to extend an offer, the recruiter said. Senior software engineer. $180,000 base, plus stock options, plus bonus potential. I'd been making $95,000 at my old job. I accept, I said immediately. She laughed. Don't you want to negotiate? No, I'm good. Okay then, welcome to Google. I started 2 weeks later. The Google campus was like a small city. Cafeterias everywhere, free food, gyms, nap pods, people riding around on colorful bikes. My first day, a woman about my age walked up to me in the cafeteria. You're new, she said. I can tell because you're actually impressed by the free lunch, I laughed. That obvious? Very. I'm Maya, product manager. You? Nolan, software engineer. What team? Search infrastructure. Nice, smart people on that team. Also incredibly weird people, but mostly smart. She sat down across from me. Where'd you move from? I hesitated. East Coast. Wow, that's vague. Witness protection? Something like that. She raised an eyebrow but didn't push. Well, welcome to California. It's expensive, sunny, and full of people who take themselves too seriously. Sounds perfect. We ended up talking for an hour. She was funny, sharp, had this way of making sarcastic comments that somehow weren't mean. Want to grab coffee sometime? She asked as we were leaving. I know all the good spots. Yeah, I'd like that. She smiled. Cool. Here's my number. I gave her my new number, the one exactly 6 people had. Now 7. The first few months in California were like learning to breathe again. Work was challenging but good. My team was brilliant. I was learning constantly, building things that millions of people used without knowing it. Maya and I got coffee, then dinner, then became actual friends. She never asked about my family. Never pushed for details about my witness protection joke. Just accepted that I was private and moved on. One night, about 4 months in, we were at a bar in Palo Alto when she said, Okay, I have to know. What's the deal? Why'd you really move here? I'd had 2 beers, just enough to lower my filter. My grandmother died, left me a lot of money. My family wanted me to share it. I didn't. So I disappeared. She blinked. That's the most honest answer I've gotten from anyone in California. Too much? No, just unexpected. She paused. How much money? Enough that I could quit tomorrow and be fine. But you're still working. I like working, and I like being useful. She nodded slowly. Your family's still looking for you? Probably, but they can't find me. New number, no social media, different state. That's kind of badass, or kind of messed up. Maybe both, I smiled. Definitely both. After that, we got closer. Not dating, just friends who actually understood each other. She introduced me to her circle, other tech people, normal people who talked about work and hobbies and didn't ask for money. I started to feel like a person again instead of an ATM with a guilt complex. A year passed. I got promoted. Senior engineer to staff engineer. Raise. More stock options. I bought a small house in Palo Alto. Nothing crazy. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. But it was mine. Bought with money I'd invested smartly. The rental properties back home kept cash flowing. $200 a month like clockwork. I never thought about them. My old life felt like something that happened to someone else. Then one day, I got an email. From an old college friend. Derek. We'd been roommates sophomore year, lost touch after graduation. Subject. Your mom's looking for you. Hey man, hope you're doing well. Random question. Your mom reached out to me on Facebook, said she's been trying to find you and it's an emergency. I didn't give her any info, but I wanted to check if everything's okay. Derek. My stomach dropped. I replied immediately. There's no emergency. She's trying to find me because of money stuff. Please don't give her any information about where I am. I know that sounds weird, but I promise it's complicated. Thanks for the heads up, he wrote back within minutes. Got it? Your business is your business. I won't say anything. But dude, your family sounds exhausting. Yeah, they are. I closed my laptop and sat there, heart pounding. They were still looking. After a year of silence, after I'd built an entire new life, they were still looking. Maya came over that night. I texted her. Need to vent. You free? She showed up with Thai food and beer. Talk, she said. I told her everything. The inheritance, the harassment, the decision to disappear. And now this, the attempted contact through old friends. What do you want to do? She asked. Nothing. Ignore it. Hope they give up. Will they? I don't know. She was quiet for a moment. You know, it's okay to protect yourself, even from family, especially from family. Everyone thinks I'm the bad guy. Everyone who matters knows you're not. And who matters? She smiled. Me, your team at work, the people who actually know you, not the people who only showed up when there was money involved. I felt something loosen in my chest. Thanks. Anytime. She stayed until midnight. We watched a terrible movie and didn't talk about my family again. And when she left, I felt okay. Not great, but okay. Like maybe I'd made the right choice after all. Year 2 hit quietly. No dramatic revelations, no surprise visitors. Just life. I dated occasionally. Nothing serious. Work was good. Maya and I grabbed dinner weekly. I'd found a running group and started training for a half marathon. My bank account kept growing. Not because of extravagant living, I still lived below my means, but because the investments were working. The financial advisor called every quarter. You're doing great. Portfolio's up 11%. Rentals are solid. You're on track. For what? For whatever you want. Retirement at 40 if you feel like it. Or just keep building wealth. Your call. It was surreal. Having choices. Having security. Having peace. Everything my family wanted to take from me. One morning, I woke up and realized I hadn't thought about them in 3 weeks. That felt like progress. But progress, I'd learned, doesn't mean the past stays buried. Sometimes it shows up unannounced. And that's exactly what happened on a random Tuesday in September. I was at lunch on the Google campus, sitting outside with Maya, eating a burrito and complaining about a bug in the codebase. It's got to be a race condition, I was saying. Nothing else makes sense. Have you tried? She stopped mid-sentence, stared past me. What? I asked. Don't turn around. But there's a guy walking toward us who looks really angry and really determined. My blood went cold. What does he look like? Tall, brown hair, wearing a suit that doesn't quite fit. Looks like he's about to start a fight. I knew before I turned around. But I turned anyway. And there he was. Kevin. Walking across the Google campus, visitor badge clipped to his jacket. Eyes locked on me. Looking like he'd found exactly what he'd been searching for. And I realized, with sinking certainty, that my quiet life was about to get very, very loud. Nolan! Kevin's voice cut across the courtyard like a knife. People looked up. Conversation stopped. The whole peaceful Google campus vibe shattered in one word. He was 20 feet away and closing fast. Maya looked at me. Is that? My brother, I said quietly. Oh. Oh no. Kevin reached our table. Stood there, breathing hard. His suit was wrinkled. He looked like he'd been traveling, or not sleeping, or both. What the hell, man? He wasn't quite yelling, but close. 2 years. You disappeared for 2 years. I stood up slowly. Kevin, you need to leave. I need to leave? I found you. Do you know how long it took? Do you have any idea? How did you find me? LinkedIn. Some idiot from your team posted a group photo with you in it. Took me 6 months to figure out, but here I am. I made a mental note to have a conversation with whoever posted that photo. You need to go, I said again. You work at Google? He laughed, bitter, angry. You're making bank at freaking Google and you ghosted your entire family? Maya stood up. Hi, I'm Maya. I don't know what's going on, but you're causing a scene. Kevin glanced at her. Who are you? A friend. And I'm asking you politely to lower your voice. This doesn't concern you. It concerns everyone within earshot. So either calm down or security's going to get involved. Kevin's face reddened. Security? Are you serious? As if on cue, 2 Google security officers started walking toward us. They'd noticed the commotion. Sir, one of them said to Kevin, is there a problem? Yeah, there's a problem. This is my brother and he… Kevin, I said sharply. Stop. No, you don't get to tell me to stop. You stole from me. Grandma's money was supposed to be for both of us. The security officers exchanged glances. Sir, one repeated, we're going to need you to come with us. I'm not going anywhere until… You're trespassing. Either you come voluntarily or we call the actual police. Kevin looked at me. Really looked at me. And I saw something I'd never seen before. Desperation. Not anger. Not entitlement. Desperation. Please, he said, voice cracking. Just talk to me. 5 minutes. No. Nolan, you need to leave, now. The security officers moved in, one on each side. Sir, let's go. Kevin jerked away. Get off me. I can walk. They escorted him across the courtyard. He kept turning back, trying to yell something, but they were moving fast enough that his words got lost. The crowd that had gathered slowly dispersed. Maya sat down. So, that was intense. I was shaking. Actually shaking. You okay? She asked. No, I don't know, maybe. Want to get out of here? Yes, absolutely yes. We walked to the parking lot. I could feel people staring, whispering. By tomorrow, this would be office gossip. The guy who had a screaming match with his brother in the quad. Great. Maya drove. I sat in the passenger seat, trying to process. How did he find you? She asked. LinkedIn photo. Someone on my team posted a group shot. I'm in the background, but it's tagged with Google's location. That's impressive detective work, actually. Or terrifying obsession. Little of both. We ended up at her apartment. She made tea. We sat on her couch. Talk, she said. I don't know what to say. Start with how you feel. Angry, scared, violated. Like I can't escape even when I literally move across the country. She nodded. That's valid. Is it though? He's my brother. Maybe I should just don't don't finish that sentence with give him what he wants. You set a boundary. He's trying to demolish it. But no buts. You don't owe him anything. Grandma left everything to you. That was her choice, not yours. I took a breath. He looked desperate, Maya. Not your problem. How can you say that? Because I've seen this before. My uncle did something similar to my dad. Showed up demanding money after years of no contact. My dad gave in. And you know what happened? What? 6 months later, Uncle was back. Needed more. Because the problem wasn't money. It was a fundamental lack of boundaries and personal responsibility. So what did your dad do? Eventually, cut him off. And it was the hardest thing he ever did, but it was also the healthiest. I sat with that. You think Kevin's going to come back? I think Kevin's going to do whatever he thinks will work. And right now, he thinks showing up and making a scene will work. So what do? Document everything. Get a restraining order if needed. Tell HR what happened. Protect yourself. She was right. I knew she was right. But it still felt awful. That evening, I went to HR, explained the situation, showed them the LinkedIn photo that had exposed my location, told them about the confrontation. The HR rep, a woman named Jennifer, took notes. This is a family matter, but it became a workplace matter when he showed up on campus, she said. We take these things seriously. What happens now? We'll flag his visitor badge. If he tries to come back, security will stop him at the entrance, and we can help you file a restraining order if you want. I don't know if I want to go that far. Think about it. In the meantime, we'll keep an eye out. I left feeling slightly better, but only slightly. Because I knew Kevin, and I knew he wasn't done. That night, my new phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. But something made me. Hello? Nolan, it's Mom. My stomach dropped. How did you get this number? Kevin found someone at Google who gave it to him. We need to talk. No, we don't. Yes, we do. What you're doing is cruel. Kevin flew all the way to California to find you, to harass me at my job, to talk to you, and you had security throw him out like a criminal. He was trespassing. He's your brother. He's someone who wants money I don't owe him. Silence. Cold, angry silence. I raised you better than this, she said finally. You raised me to be invisible until you needed something. I'm done with that. You're being selfish. I'm being sane. Grandma would be ashamed. That one hit, because part of me wondered if it was true. Grandma left everything to me for a reason, I said. She wrote it in her will. She explained why. You read it. She was old, confused. You manipulated. I visited her. That's all I did. I showed up. Weekly. For 5 years. Where were you? I was busy. So was I, but I made time. Because you wanted the money. I didn't even know she had that much. I visited because I loved her. Mom's voice broke. Well, congratulations. You got everything. And you lost your family. I didn't lose anything. You pushed me away. We're trying to rebuild, and you're running away. I'm protecting myself. There's a difference. From what? From this. From being guilted and manipulated and harassed until I give you what you want. She was crying now. I'm your mother. Then act like it, instead of treating me like a piggy bank. I hung up, hands shaking, heart pounding. And then my phone rang again. Same unknown number. I turned it off. The next morning, I found out Kevin had posted about me online. Not on my accounts, I didn't have any. But on his. A long Facebook post. Public. My brother inherited $2.3 million from our grandmother and disappeared. Won't share. Won't talk to family. Just vanished to California to work at Google and live his best life while the rest of us struggle. This is what greed looks like. This is what selfishness looks like. Our grandmother would be ashamed. He'd tagged mutual friends, extended family, people I hadn't talked to in years. The comments were split, half defending him. Family should share. That's so wrong. Sue him. Half defending me. It was left to him, not you. Maybe there's more to the story. Why didn't you visit her? My phone started blowing up again. Friends from college, distant relatives, people I barely knew, all asking questions, taking sides, demanding explanations. I turned off my phone completely, called my lawyer, the one who'd handled Grandma's estate. Kevin's going public, I said, posting online, trying to shame me. Can't do much about that. It's his free speech. What if he keeps showing up at my work? Then you file a restraining order, which I'd recommend at this point. Okay, let's do it. We filed that afternoon. Within 2 days, Kevin was served with a temporary restraining order. No contact. 500 feet minimum distance. Violation meant jail time. My mother called from yet another unknown number. I recognized her voice immediately. You got a restraining order? Against your own brother? He showed up at my workplace. He's harassing me online. He won't stop. Because you won't talk to him. There's nothing to talk about. You're tearing this family apart. Mom, listen to me. Really listen. I didn't tear anything apart. This family tore itself apart when you decided Kevin was worth more than me. When you ignored Grandma for years. When you only cared about me when there was money involved. That's not... It's true. And until you can admit that, we have nothing to talk about. So that's it? You're just done with us? I'm done being treated like this. If you want a relationship, it starts with respect, not demands. And what about Kevin? He's struggling. His business failed. He needs help. Then help him, but don't expect me to. You're heartless. No, I'm tired. I hung up for the last time. That night Maya came over. She didn't say anything, just hugged me. And I realized something. This was family. Not blood, not obligation, but choice. The people who showed up, who supported, who didn't want anything except to see you okay. Thank you, I said. For what? For being here. Where else would I be? And somehow, that made everything a little bit easier to bear. The restraining order hearing was 2 weeks later. Kevin had to appear. So did I. We sat on opposite sides of the courtroom. Didn't make eye contact. The judge read the evidence. The security reports from Google. The threatening emails Kevin had sent to my work account. The Facebook post. Mr. Morrison, the judge said, looking at Kevin, you understand that your brother has the legal right to his inheritance? Yes, but no buts. The will was valid. You've had multiple attorneys confirm this. What you're doing now is harassment. He's my brother. I just want to talk. Then talk without trespassing, without threatening, without public shaming. Kevin's lawyer whispered something to him. The judge continued. I'm granting the restraining order. Mr. Kevin Morrison, you are to have no contact with your brother. No physical presence within 500 feet. No phone calls, emails, or social media contact. Violation will result in immediate arrest. Do you understand? Kevin's jaw clenched. Yes. Good. Court adjourned. I walked out feeling hollowed out. Maya was waiting in the hallway. How'd it go? Restraining order's official. That's good. Doesn't feel good. I know. We got coffee, sat in silence for a while. Then she said, you know what's crazy? What? You did everything right. You visited your grandmother. You earned that inheritance. You set boundaries. And somehow you still feel like the bad guy. Because they make me feel like the bad guy. That's their specialty, making you responsible for their feelings. I looked at her. How'd you get so wise? Therapy. Lots and lots of therapy. I laughed. Actually laughed. Maybe I should try that. Couldn't hurt. And for the first time in weeks, I felt something close to hope. Not that things would go back to normal, but that maybe, eventually, I'd be okay anyway. 6 months after the restraining order, I finally started therapy. Not because I was falling apart, but because Maya kept gently suggesting it. You've been through a lot, she'd say. Talking to someone might help. So I found a therapist, Dr. Patricia Chen. Mid-50s, kind eyes, office that smelled like lavender. Tell me why you're here, she said in our first session. My family wants money I inherited. I said no. Now they hate me. And I'm not sure if I made the right choice. Do you think you made the right choice? Logically, yes. Emotionally, I don't know. Tell me about your grandmother. I talked for 40 minutes about visiting her every week, about how she'd been sharp and funny until the end, about how everyone else forgot about her. She left you everything because you showed up, Dr. Chen said. That wasn't manipulation. That was gratitude. My family thinks I poisoned her against them. Did you? No, I just was there. Exactly. You were present. They weren't. And now they're facing the consequences of their choices. But they're my family. Family doesn't give you the right to take from someone, or guilt them, or harass them. I sat with that. So what do I do? You've already done it. You set boundaries. Now you maintain them. What if they never forgive me? Then that's their choice, just like this was yours. Over the next few months, therapy helped me process things I'd been avoiding. The grief over grandma, the anger at my family, the guilt over the money. Guilt's interesting, Dr. Chen said one session. It's supposed to tell us when we've done something wrong, but sometimes we feel guilty just for taking up space. That's me. I've always felt like I was taking up space. Because your family made you feel that way. Kevin was the golden child, your mom's favorite. And you were… what? The reliable one? The one who didn't need attention? Yeah, exactly that. And now you have something valuable, and they want it, because in their minds, you don't deserve to have more than them. How do I stop feeling guilty? You remind yourself of the truth. You earned this. You showed up, and you're allowed to protect what's yours. I left that session feeling lighter than I had in months. Work was going well. I'd been promoted again. Staff engineer to senior staff. More responsibility. More stock options. More proof that I was building something real. Maya and I had started dating. Officially. It happened gradually. Coffee turned into dinners. Dinners turned into weekends together. One night she just looked at me and said, "So are we doing this or what?" Doing what? Dating, like, for real. I thought we already were. I mean officially, like, I want to introduce you as my boyfriend, not my friend Nolan. I smiled. Yeah, let's do that. She kissed me. Good. Because I really like you. I really like you too. It was the most normal, healthy relationship I'd ever had. No drama. No manipulation. Just two people who actually enjoyed each other's company. She met my friends from work. I met hers. We talked about moving in together eventually. Life felt stable. Good. Like I'd finally built something that was mine. And then, on a random Thursday, I got an email. From an address I didn't recognize. Subject: I'm sorry, I almost deleted it. Assumed it was spam. But something made me open it. Nolan, this is your Aunt Linda. Your dad's sister. I was at the will reading. I stayed quiet then, but I shouldn't have. I want you to know that your grandmother talked to me before she died. She told me why she was leaving everything to you. She said you were the only one who loved her for her, not for what she could give you. She said you showed up when nobody else did. Your mom and Kevin are angry because they know she was right. They're not angry at you. They're angry at themselves. But it's easier to blame you than face their own guilt. I don't expect you to forgive them. Or me for staying silent. But I wanted you to know. You didn't do anything wrong. You were a good grandson. And she loved you for it. I'm proud of you for standing your ground. Love, Aunt Linda? I read it 3 times. Then I forwarded it to Dr. Chen with a note. Is it weird that I'm crying? She replied. Not weird at all. That's validation. Let yourself feel it. So I did. I sat at my desk and cried. Not sad crying. Relief crying. Because someone saw it. Someone understood. And that was enough. I printed the email, framed it, put it on my bookshelf next to a photo of Grandma and me from 5 years ago. 2 months later, I got a text from an unknown number. Hey, it's Kevin. Don't freak out. I'm not violating the restraining order. I got a new therapist and she said I should reach out. If you want to talk, I'm willing to listen. If not, I understand. I'm sorry for everything. I stared at that message for a long time. Showed it to Maya. What do you think? I asked. What do you want to do? I don't know. Part of me wants to ignore it. Part of me is curious. You don't owe him anything. But if you want to respond, that's okay too. I thought about it for 2 days. Then I replied, I appreciate the apology. I'm not ready to talk yet. Maybe someday. But not now. I hope therapy helps you. He wrote back immediately. I understand. Thank you for responding. I mean it. I'm sorry. Take care of yourself. And that was it. No demands, no guilt trips, just an apology and space. It wasn't forgiveness, but it was acknowledgement, and that felt like progress. 3 months after that, Maya and I were having dinner at her apartment when she said, I have a question. Okay. Do you ever regret it? The money, the distance, all of it. I thought about it. Really thought. No, I regret that it had to happen. I regret that my family couldn't just be happy for me. But I don't regret protecting myself. Good. Because I've been thinking. About what? About us. About the future. She paused. I got a job offer in Seattle. Really good opportunity. VP of product at a startup. My heart sank. When do you leave? She smiled. That depends. Do you want to come with me? What? Come with me to Seattle. We can get a place together. You can work remote or find something up there. But I don't want to do this without you. I stared at her. You're serious. Completely serious. I love you, Nolan, and I want to build a life with you. I love you too. So is that a yes? That's a yes. She kissed me. Good. Because I already told them I'd take the job. I laughed. Confident, aren't you? I know what I want. We moved to Seattle 2 months later. Rented a house in Capitol Hill. Older place, but charming. Backyard with a garden Maya immediately claimed. I transitioned to full remote work. Google was flexible. As long as I delivered, they didn't care where I lived. The rental properties back east kept generating income. I'd almost forgotten about them. They just ran in the background, cash flowing into my account every month. My investment portfolio had grown to over $3 million. The financial advisor called quarterly with updates I barely understood but appreciated. You're doing great, he'd say. Really great. Most people in your position would have blown through the money by now. I had good advice. You had discipline. That matters more. Life in Seattle was good. Different from California, but good. Maya thrived in her new job. I found a local running group. We hosted dinner parties. Went hiking on weekends. Normal life. Healthy life. The kind of life I'd never thought I'd have. 1 year after moving, I got a card in the mail. From Mom. No return address. Just my name and the Seattle address someone must have found. Inside was a short note. Nolan, I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even know if I deserve it. But I need you to know I'm sorry for how I treated you, for choosing Kevin over you for so many years, for making you feel invisible. I've been in therapy. It's helping me see things I should have seen a long time ago. I understand if you never want to talk to me again. But if you ever do, I'm here. Love, Mom. I showed it to Maya. What are you going to do? She asked. I don't know. Maybe nothing. Maybe someday. That's fair. I put the card in a drawer. Didn't respond. But didn't throw it away either. Because maybe someday I'd be ready. But not today. 2 years after leaving California, Maya and I got engaged. Simple proposal. No flash mob or elaborate planning. Just the two of us on a hike, overlooking Puget Sound. I want to spend my life with you, I said. Will you marry me? She laughed. Did you plan this? Not even a little bit. I've been carrying the ring for 3 weeks waiting for the right moment. This is perfect. So is that a yes? That's a yes. We got married 6 months later. Small ceremony, her family, my friends from work, no one from my old life. It was exactly what I wanted. After the ceremony, Maya asked, Any regrets? I looked around. At the people who'd chosen to be there. At the life we'd built together. None, I said. Not a single one. Good, because I'm really happy. Me too. And I meant it. Because I'd learned something important. Family isn't who you're born to. It's who shows up, who stays, who loves you not for what you have, but for who you are. Grandma knew that. That's why she left everything to me. Not because I deserved it more, but because I was there when it mattered. And now I was here, in a life I'd built from scratch, with someone who loved me unconditionally, standing in a small backyard in Seattle, married to my best friend, financially secure, emotionally healthy. I'd lost my family of origin, but I'd gained something better, a family of choice.